The inspiration behind poem number 1, The Painting on the Wall, comes from the illustration that Vinny made for Cuerpos, which was an interpretation of a picture I took of him. I came up with the idea of creating a painting within a painting in the form of a narrative poem.
The painting on the wall is horizontal, acrylic on glass, with defined lines, clear composition, and bright colors. To the left you can see a man in his late 30s, with short brown hair, light eyes, sharp features, and a slim figure, standing barefoot on the grass, his right hand inside the pocket of a pair of black dress pants that hang from his hips, revealing his naked torso. His profile before the facade of a white beach house with wooden door and windows in the middle of a plot of land near the edge of a cliff by the sea. Surrounding the right side there's a small orchard. 4 orange trees, 4 lemon trees. In front of the house we can see an elevated terrace with a round cast iron table, 2 chairs, and a black cat lying underneath. Surrounding the left side there's a garden with an almond tree, a cypress tree, an olive tree, and a few pine trees. Aromatic herbs and flowers, lavender, thyme, eucalyptus, and other bushes distributed randomly. Behind the house we see a road at the foot of a mountain range that looks like a setting in an ancient story. A few miles away, a coastal village next to a medieval castle built upon a small peninsula, and way beyond the skyline of an obscure metropolis hiding inside the fog, the sun, which is rising quietly from behind the horizon, illuminates the whole scene. Gradually, and covers it in a deep, soft blue, with hues of purple. The man is staring at the right bedroom window, which is open. Suddenly his left arm rises, his hand stretched with a gesture equal to the expression in his eyes, as if he wanted to caress the air. Tearful and passionate, he doesn't know if what he feels is his morning fatigue or euphoria, a very pleasant, submissive weakness that connects him with everything around and brings him absolute peace. Pablo, what's your process? How do you find words and how do you connect those words into a poem? How does that work for you?
It very much depends on the situation. Usually, the first line just comes to me, and then if it's the right moment, I go ahead and develop it. If not, I just take some notes that I can develop afterwards. Other times, I think about what I want to say in what would be an interesting way to communicate that. Lately, it's been a little bit more like that with this book, especially. It's been more experimental, at least for me, because I never really developed emotions and ideas in a narrative way. And with this book, I'm doing a little bit of that also. I'm playing with my inner monologue a lot. The last walk of the night was thunder in the heart, a moment under the thick yellow of the streetlights and the still breeze, just how I remembered. I get up from the floor in a state somehow hypnotic and start walking with foreign eyes. The door opens. I'm in the streets. It's summertime. They are empty. I used to be a part of all this that no longer exists. The warm facades of the buildings embrace me like a mother. I will never forget how I became light.
So in the subject of the process, where does the muse, where does inspiration lie for you? What is it for you? What is the muse for you?
I feel like existence and humanity is definitely the muse for me always. Nature. The incredible need to communicate and to connect with people. And from there, anything can happen.
That's great. It's super interesting to me. Now I'm gonna ask you a few questions, a few symbols I'm gonna shoot at you, and I want to just know what you think. The first one, I want to know, what is New York for you? You live here, you've been here for a while now. What is it for you? What do you draw from it? What does it mean to you?
Spontaneity, if that makes any sense. New beginnings, openness.
Right on. Okay.
There are things and dreams that disappear by not thinking them, and lovers whose pain is forgotten during each successive sleep. There are craniums and legends, never comparable to how brilliant it is, certainly knowing nothing that hasn't been said or written before. A buried bone underground, yes, a sacred blue stone, and a brain that will be ashes upon your face at the edge of the hill on a wonderful day of All Saints. A veces me gusta pensar que el recuerdo existe en un lugar de destino, más allá de mi vida y de mi cuerpo, donde lo vivido jamás se desvanecerá. Estoy en la plaza, de mármol y bronce. Fui empujado, llegué casi sin esfuerzo, siguiendo el sonido agudo de un saxofón en el aire, dejando que la marea me llevara, lejos de la playa luminosa donde nací, un día caluroso de verano, antes de descubrir que me volaría enloquecido con el viento. Esta plaza solía estar rodeada de facultades con estudiantes privilegiados de todo el mundo. Pero no queda nada, solo la energía creativa de los dioses vagabundos, expulsados de su templo, que ahora juegan al ajedrez. Ahora se transforman en espectros, en un redoble de tambores revolucionario. Ahora son niños en carritos llorando desconsoladamente mientras avanzan de vuelta al refugio. Me siento en un banco de madera y levanto la cabeza mirando al cielo azul. Las nubes tranquilas se deshacen con el batir de alas de un halcón al vuelo que las atraviesa y envía mensajes en código a las gaviotas y a los cuervos extraviados.
Memory. What comes to your mind when you think of memory? How does memory influence your work and the way you see the world?
Memory is basically everything, I think, to me, and I believe that memory is all we have, and memory is what remains. So from there is how we're able to understand us, understand the present, and be able to move on. Take me with you, by the hand, down melting pathways and store windows, so we can see our reflection. Yes, we still exist, privileged, bombarded, terrified, sorrowful, surrounded by unnecessary debris, by illuminated people, by the steam of the gutter, where the souls that mourn us rest at night, rejected by society, lost among the dust, nameless night walkers with no family or shelter. You and I notice them. You and I suffer, but never as much as them. Personas que sienten menos porque hacen más. Ropa, un hogar con todo. Películas, una maleta pequeña y vieja, semejante a la pérdida o a un abrazo. Nadie lo sabe, pero me siento como aquel hombre que nunca supo hacer fortuna, tumbada sobre un cartón, mientras a su lado un cerdo gasta dinero en un supermercado de lujo de la Sexta Avenida. La noche, igual que la muerte, nos espera a los dos, más allá de la nueva torre de la libertad.
What is romanticism for you?
I think that romanticism, to me, and in general, I view it as a way of rebelling against the present and the longing for something, the search for something, for a feeling, for a mood, for a place, that they need to be someone, they need to communicate again, and romanticism is the way for me.
Waves on the side of the ocean are previous giants, lovely or licking with a lascivious tongue. Why don't you like yourself? Why don't you love yourself like I always have been secret for all these years? Why don't you visit me in my dreams? You know I'm always here, and will always be, walking in circles around the same broken and forgotten island. My eyes will remain still, forever, staring at the horizon, on the other side of time. You rest, and I can see you laying on the sand, calm and safe, next to your boat and your basket full of freshly caught fish. My God, here they are, carefully arranged inside the castle, next to the rest of the objects I was able to save after the storm. Now they are images in the temple of my gods.
So then, what is truth to you?
Truth and romanticism go hand in hand. For me, it's the same thing. The search for truth. Truth is everything in life, and I feel like that's all you're trying to strive for, all I'm trying to be as a person and as an artist, honest and real. Okay. I'm in a dark prison. The floor is cold. They stripped all my clothes. I've lost everything that had a name. Thought exists in me no more. I'm no longer a machine. I'm just a body, organic and celestial. The nameless words resonate vibrating. They are recorded in my brain. Even loneliness has abandoned me. I have nothing left. Only my face, caressing your chest. Es difícil recordar una vida previa, una vida adolescente, en otro país, rodeado de otra gente y un clima saturado por una fragante e indescriptible antigüedad. Así como no puedo describir la desesperación que siento ahora mismo en esta habitación desde el lugar más oscuro del día. Añoro lo imposible y lo inalcanzable, mientras observo cómo las notas musicales ascienden desde el tocadiscos hacia el techo. Las veo salir por la ventana de mi dormitorio, que siempre incita a pensar en la escapada, trepando a ciegas como una hiedra por la escalera metálica y verdosa que está ahí para recibir un verso en caso de emergencia. Pero el verso está compuesto de palabras intangibles y yo estoy hecho de carne sólida.
Okay, great. I'm going to ask you about pain. What is pain for you? Where does it lie? Where do you keep it? And how does pain influence your work? How does it influence your process? How does it influence you?
I think that pain is maybe the catalyst for every artist. Pain is what you can't control and you're trying to deal with as best as possible. So art is a form of meditation. I think that's what an artist is doing. Aside from everything else, interesting, not interesting, is to deal with pain and the things you can't control. I stood alone over the broken ground, demolished after the storm, like a god stumbling around through the ruins of a temple that is no longer his own, because it never was. I stood still, paralyzed under the grey branches of the weeping trees, devastated from the tears vibrating like atoms within my face, about to explode. Far off is the sound of what seems to be the lament of other gods in exile, who have lost their minds, but they haven't lost eternity. You can also hear a traditional guitar melody, eclipsed by the mythical chant of the sparrows in a park far off. Hysterical and repetitive, the cackle of human beings has invaded this island. They behave
this life and this land wasn't a divine gift, as if we all weren't thieves in a false quest for immediate pleasure.
Awesome. One last question. What is imagination for you? And how does it affect you? How does it affect your work?
I think it's synonymous to dream, and going back to romanticism and to memory is an uncontrollable need to pursue and to materialize something that you don't even understand, but you really want to try, and perhaps that is the whole process of living.
Right on. Awesome. Okay, great.